Hello, good morning everybody. I don't know if you can hear me. I hope you can. If you're there, let me know. I have a fresh tray of soil in front of me and it smells so good. That's part of what I really love about doing these microgreens. So I'd love to hear from you if you're there. I don't know if you can hear me. It says comments will appear here, but I don't see any comments. So I'm going to just break up the little pieces in the soil because microgreens are very delicate, very fragile, and they take a little bit of TLC in order to be successful for them to grow. Hi, welcome. I'm just talking about the soil for the microgreens. We have to always start with fresh soil. It has to not just be dug up soil from your yard unless you have a garden. It has to be, it's what's called sterile soil, although it's not sterile, but it's organic, it's free of chemicals, it's that nice earth that you smell. So we want to have a tray. We need a few trays for this. So we have a long tray. It's probably a couple inches deep. And it has holes on the bottom, and that is if you want to grow all of the same microgreen in one tray, right? You can just get one big tray, fill it up with soil. If you want to grow different microgreens in your tray, then you get these little squares. And as you can see, there's holes in these so that they can absorb water from the bottom, because once microgreens start to sprout, you don't want to water them from the top anymore, you want to water them from the bottom. So you get 8 of these, you put them inside your tray, they fit along, and you can grow 8 different kinds of microgreens. But we're going to keep it simple today. We're going to just grow one. I have a bag of mixed seeds here, and you can buy mixed seeds. There's all kinds of mixes out there. There's salad mixes. There's I'll post a link in a little bit to help you find your way to maybe getting some seeds and getting started. So you get your soil, and microgreens are very sensitive, so you want to break up all the big pieces. You know, you fill the tray up about halfway, maybe a little bit more than half, because you want to cut the microgreens as low as possible. And once you start to get your hands in the dirt, this is actually my favorite part. Well, maybe my second favorite part. My first favorite part is eating them when they're done, but my second favorite part is actually digging up this dirt. It's my whole kitchen smells like earth. You know what it smells like just after it rains? Ah, it smells so good. All right, so I could play in this dirt for like 10 minutes, but we'll just stop. And what we want to do is wet the dirt. So if you don't have a nozzle in your kitchen, like a sprayer, then you have to get some kind of a small watering can that has a spout with a kind of a rain head nozzle. And you want to really even out the soil, because the microgreens, they grow very evenly. So if you have, holes in the surface, it's going to be harder to get to them. They're very small. You really only eat these. You eat these within 10 days of when you plant them. So they don't get very big. That's why they're called microgreens. So while I'm wetting the soil, we really want to saturate it. It takes a minute or so. I'm going to talk a little bit about how the microgreens are so nutritious and why they're so good for you. Microgreens are just sprouts. They're sprouts of little plants. So if you're planting broccoli microgreens and the microgreens start to come up, or the sprouts start to come up, you can take each one and grow it into a broccoli, a whole plant, full head of broccoli. But the more the microgreen grows, as it grows into a plant, we have to fertilize it, we have to nurture it, we have to give it all this stuff to make it grow into, what we know about what it looks like at the grocery store today. So when you eat them in these little condensed forms, the nutrient value is anytime between 4 and 40 times as nutritious as eating a whole thing of broccoli. Like you can eat a handful of microgreens, it's like eating 8 heads of broccoli. You get the same nutritional value. That's why it's so good for you, and it really can help you change your life. If you're looking to lose weight, you get so full because these are so nutritionally dense that they fill you up. You take a couple rows of this and put it into a bowl, and now you have a small bowl of food. It looks like something you may sprinkle onto a salad, but if you just eat that small bowl of mixed microgreens, you're going to feel full, and it's going to help you to start to reduce your stomach size. Whatever issues you have, microgreens will help you because they're so nutritionally dense. And a couple days ago I posted on this event page 2 sheets that had the breakdown of the nutritional value of the different microgreens. Broccoli is on there, arugula is on there, cilantro is on there, red cabbage is on there. So go back into the event page and look at the pictures that I posted. There's 2 of them, and decide which ones you want to grow. Later, after I'm done here, I will post the link to where you can order some seeds, and then you just have to go get some soil at the Home Depot or Menards or wherever you go to get your soil. Planting soil, not plant soil, organic vegetable. You want vegetable soil, right? You don't want any fertilizers in it. You don't need any of that because you're only growing these for a week to 10 days, so they don't need a lot. They're super dense, nutritionally full of value, so you don't need a lot of fertilizers. When you grow them bigger into bigger plants, that's when you need to do the fertilization. So now my tray is nice and wet. All I have to do is take my seeds, and we want to sprinkle them, and you can put them in a cup or whatever. I've been doing this a little while, so you want to sprinkle them evenly and not too much on top of each other. So while I'm sprinkling this, I'm listening to music. The smell of the soil. This is really like a meditation to me. I can smell the earth even though I'm inside. Even though it's cold outside, I get to connect with the smell. The seeds in the plastic bag are making a noise. I don't know if you can hear it. So I'm playing my bag of seeds to my bossa nova music, which I have on my computer. So I feel a little bit Brazilian right now, enjoying my roots a little bit. All right, so now I have sprinkled this pretty evenly. I'm going to show you how it looks. It's a little bit, looks like a little bit of a mess, but I'm going to help. Let me turn this around. All right, so these piles are a little bit too big, but you can spread them out. See how you just spread it out a little bit? Make it nice and even. Get rid of the big pieces. All right, and you just kind of even it out. I'm doing this through the screen, so it's a little more challenging. All right. It's going to take me a little minute to even out this whole tray. So I'm going to put you back over here so I can focus on this work. There we go. All right, so once you have spread them all out, you need to cover them. Well, we're going to wet them again first. All right, nice and even. Getting rid of all the big pieces that are on top. You want to give these little guys space in between to grow. There we go. Here's a little piece of wood. We don't need that. All right. So then you're going to get your little watering can or your spray gun again, not too heavily. You want it to be nice and light because you don't want to move the seeds around. You want to keep the seeds nice and evenly spread out. You don't want to make dents in the soil. You want to keep the soil nice and flat. Wet them really well. If any pool up again, you can kind of spread them out again. There we go. All right. So then, you'll need a couple things. This tray, as I mentioned in the beginning, has holes on the bottom, which we're going to need when these grow up a little bit bigger. You're going to need 2 more trays. This tray has no holes in it. All right, and we're going to use this tray when it's time to water these, right? When they get older, we can't water them from the top anymore. We have to water them from the bottom. Once they've sprouted and they start to form leaves, we don't want to get those leaves wet. We want to just water from the bottom because the leaves are very delicate. They're babies. They're just a few days old. So we have to baby them and take care of them and nurture them, water them from the bottom, and then they're going to grow, you know, a few inches tall. All right. But before all that happens, we need to sprout these. These are microgreens. And so there's a difference between microgreens and sprouts. Microgreens grow in soil. Sprouts grow in water, right? Most people grow sprouts because they don't need the soil. They are a little bit different. They're very earthy as well. But they're kind of, I don't know, to me, well, they're just completely different. They're not better. They're not worse. They're great for different purposes. I prefer microgreens. So you need to sprout the microgreens, but you don't sprout them in water. They can sprout in the soil. So you need another cover with holes. This one has holes as well. And this one goes on top, right? So once you've planted the seeds, once they're nice and moist, you put this one on top. And then you're going to put it somewhere on your counter. It doesn't matter, over by, you know, a shelf somewhere, in the window, wherever you have room to put it. And you're going to just keep it covered for a couple of days, and you're going to notice it sprouting. You can peek in there. Maybe in a day or 2, you can feel the soil. If it's drying out, you want to water it again, keep it nice and moist in there. And then after 2 or 3 days, you're going to start to notice the little tails coming up, and they're going to start filling out the tray. Once they start doing that, you can take the cover off. And they're going to be yellow at this point. They're not going to look, you know, very exciting. They're going to be little yellow seeds with tails. But once you let the sun get on them, they're going to turn green, and they're going to grow really fast. But you really only want them to grow about 2 to 3 inches, depending on what kind you're growing. Some are taller than others. So you can grow kale microgreens, broccoli microgreens, which has really been shown to help with cancer, healing cancer and preventing cancer. To me, I don't have any diseases, so I grow these to maintain health, not to heal things. Although I'm going through some healing right now, as many of you know. I've recently been in a car accident, which has kept me in a wheelchair even up until now, but it hasn't stopped me from, moving forward. Let me put it that way. So I'm growing these since I have time to grow them. Can't really do anything too much out of the house. And I wanted to share it with you. So I'm going to grab my wheelchair here right now. I should be walking within the next week or 2, though. Woo! So we're working on physical therapy right now. And so I will take this on my lap. Oh, I have to take this and the camera. I didn't consider that. Okay, I'm going to take the camera, and I'm going to turn you guys around. Okay. And then I'm going to take the box on my lap. All right, and then we're going to roll with the wheelchair. Oh, there's my walker. Over here to a little corner that I have set up for microgreens. I don't have a south-facing window, so I don't have a place to put down my little phone, so just bear with me, guys. All right. There we go. All right, so I have this little place set up, and Michael, my lovely partner, installed a little light here for me, right? So now here is the setup. It's a little shelf in the corner, and I got the night light, or the grow light, and I got the microgreens below it on one shelf, right? I don't really need to keep the grow light on in the beginning. There are the little microgreens in there planted. There we go. Pretty simple, nothing too complicated. Cover it with the lid with the holes, so that some light comes in. It's going to keep it nice and humid in there. And then check it every day. Once you have a majority of sprouts with leaves, maybe, starting to form, maybe half an inch tall or so, then you can uncover them, turn the grow light on, and enjoy within a week to 10 days. They're so delicious. There's so many things you can do with them. You can make pestos with them, eat them in salads, put them on your scrambled eggs, put them on your avocado toast, hummus toast, tomato sandwiches, sprinkle them on everything, or just eat them in a salad. Anyway, loves, I'm going to go. Thank you for joining me. Let me see if I can get back on here and say goodbye to everybody. I kind of have the light in my background now. Hold on, where's the camera? As you can see, this is not a professional presentation. I can't see camera. Here we go. There we go. All right. So bye. Thanks for tuning in. If you have any questions, post them on the event page, and I'll get back to you, or you can reach me on a deeper connection anytime. So thanks to Grow Well Farms. I'm going to share the link to their website. If you don't want to grow your own microgreens and you don't feel that's something that's for you, order them from Grow Well Farms and go pick them up in Lake Forest. They also have some other different pickup points around the area where you can get them. I love you all. Thank you. Bye.